Hey everybody, it's Andrew back again. I just came back from Hawaii thanks to Gigabyte, so I'll have something to say on that very soon. A new laptop coming from them, so you don't want to miss that. But I want to thank Gigabyte AMD for sending me to Honolulu for the Next Wave summit, for Partner Summit, I should say, and that was excellent. I'll have more to say on that very soon. So I'm a little bit more refreshed. Maybe I could have shaved, who knows? But bottom line is, I've been using this. This is the Lenovo Yoga Book 9i Gen 10, brand new for 2025. Major improvements design-wise, performance-wise, and pretty much across the board, year over year, gen over gen. So we're going to get into it today, why I think this is one of the best double laptops or dual screen OLED laptops you can get right now. Perfect for multitasking, perfect for content creation, and perfect for content consumption. We'll get into it in more in this review. It comes in this gorgeous title teal color, which I'm absolutely loving. It's versatile in terms of being a 2-in-1, used with the pen. All that has worked out really well. So let's find out why I think this is one of the best major improvements when it comes to a 2-in-1 convertible, especially dual screen. Let's get into it right now. Hey everybody, it's Andrew, and this is the Lenovo Yoga Book 9i Gen 10, brand new for 2025. Coming up. Now we're going to start off with the build and design. This is that gorgeous Lenovo color here that we've seen before. This is the title teal. And as you can see, it does collect some fingerprints here, and you can probably see it here. This is definitely something you'll have to be aware of, but it's absolutely gorgeous. This is an all-metal premium design. It actually comes in lighter, as I mentioned in the unboxing video. This actually comes in lighter than last year's model. The build with the rounded edges and the gorgeous title teal are first rate, so I am very happy with the overall design and aesthetics. All right, let's talk about the weight here, because despite being bigger in terms of the displays on the two OLED displays here, going from 13.3 inches to 14 inches on those dual displays, you actually get a lighter device here. So this was last year's model right here, and if I put it on the scale, just the unit alone, 1.347 kilograms, and that is 2 pounds, 15.5 ounces. Let's take a look at the new one. And here we have the new one, which has the dual OLED 14 inches. You can see it's a lit lighter than the 2024 model, even though it has bigger displays, 1.217 kilograms, and that is 2 pounds, 10.9 ounces. So they managed to shave off some weight despite going with the bigger displays. Nice. Now, there are some key differences between the 2024 model and the 2025 model in terms of design. Now, the keyboards, which of course are an accessory that is included in the box. Last year's model didn't connect magnetically, so you had to sort of carry it with you, and it's not the most elegant solution that they've done. And then of course this one does have a magnet here for 2025, and as you can see, and we can go over here, it stays in place, right? Sort of. Not the strongest magnet, but at least they put something there to make it a little easier to carry. Again, not a perfect solution, but an improvement in the right direction. This one has nothing here. So you see when you carry it, you just got to carry it like that. Now, the pen holder is in a different place here as well. They put it on the side on the new one. On the old one here, it sort of was in this placement here, so you couldn't sort, you had to put it on like that, and that's it. That's the difference between those two. Now the keyboard, there is going to be a difference between the two, and you can see here, this was last year's keyboard, and again, you have this origami style stand here, and this stand, as you can see here, is pretty good. It's pretty sturdy. You can put it in dual screen, put it vertically, you can put it horizontally. One key problem here, this did not have a backlight on it. This one does. That is corrected here in 2025. So again, we have that origami style here that we got used to last year. And then again, here's your keyboard here. And here you can see that this does have a little light there, or a little symbol there to let you know this is a backlit keyboard. This one does not have it. This was 2024. This is 2025. So that is a key difference. Now the keyboard physically is pretty much the same. It's a little darker on this one. And this new one, key travel is a little bit better this time around. This was a little bit more shallow than this one, so a little bit improvement in terms of the overall tactility feedback and the key travel. So that has been a nice upgrade here for 2025. So when it comes to the backlight on the keyboard, function spacebar brings this up over here, and as you can see, it's off. Now it's on auto, and this is the on mode. So those are the different choices you get with this backlight. Now, for those wondering, yeah, you can open it with one finger. I do have a slippery table here. You could sort of do it. And obviously, they have some pretty nice hinges on here, very little screen wobble. There is some, again, it is a convertible. And speaking of which, you have the different modes you can put this in. Obviously, you can see these gorgeous displays, but this hinge with this sound bar on it really gives you some options here. You can actually go into tablet mode right here, and you can see for use with the pen, this should be a nice way to use it. Got a little grip here with this bar over here. Again, that gives it a little bit more grip on it. And what I like about this, of course, is the fact that it is lighter than last year's model. So they managed to shave off some weight despite giving you more screen real estate, which is always welcome in my book. Now, the other modes you can put it into, obviously you can put it into the laptop mode, which of course goes like this. And one of the things you'll notice here, obviously, is these gorgeous OLED displays here. Now, if I want the virtual keyboard, I just put my fingers on there. I think it's 4 or 5 fingers, and you just put those on there. Let me do that again. So if I do 4, yeah, you need 4 fingers here, and you can bring it out. Now, this is adjustable. You can put it in the different settings here, different customizable modes. You can change the color and the style. You can go traditional here, or you can go to floating, mini, all that stuff. So you have the keyboard there. It's a haptic feedback type style, and you can go smaller there. And then this one brings it out to full size. So that is another way to go. And there you can hear and get some haptic feedback as well. So they did a pretty nice job in terms of the keyboard as far as a virtual keyboard. Now, notice you have a virtual touchpad here, which works pretty good. You could also turn it off and make this whole thing the touchpad. So if I'm on this side, I can use it. You know, it just depends on where you are. It's, again, matter of personal preference. Again, hitting this button right there brings the delineation back. And then I also like this part, and let me get the pen to show you why I like this feature here. So if I click on that, this brings up a little pad there, and I can take notes when I say I need to jot down a number, get some information. When I'm in a meeting, this is a great handy note-taking app. Now, I don't know if I could put it on this side. Maybe I can. So let's see. I don't know. But this is very handy. Now, I am left-handed, so I got to reach over. So I got to see if there's a way to put it on that side. But for those righties out there, you should be perfectly fine here with this layout. But again, this is the virtual keyboard, virtual touchpad. All works very well. Now, there's also the floating touchpad that you can do. That would be this. And you can bring this over here and just move this around. And again, there's haptic feedback on it. So that will let you know you're actually inputting here. So pretty good overall. So here I have them side by side. So you can see that you can have X open here, and then I can have my website or some other website. I can put YouTube and so forth. So all sorts of things you can do here. And of course, this makes it very convenient. I can use the pen on either one. So it actually works out pretty well. I have the mouse here. Now, another way to use this, obviously, I can put it into laptop mode. So I can actually take the keyboard here and then put it over here or over here, and then I can get the mouse working. Now, something's wrong with this because when I used to put it here, there used to be on this side some panels with the weather and some other things. That's not working anymore. I don't know what happened, so maybe I hit something, but I have to figure that out. But if you're going to use it like a traditional laptop, this is what it looks like. You have the virtual touchpad. You can use the mouse. It's up to you. And again, backlit keyboard, an improved keyboard. Like I said, better key travel. And again, it has that backlight. Now, for those wondering, this is what the keyboard sounds like when you use it and type on it. Now, of course, you can use this like this, or you can use it detached like I have here, and you can have the two displays going, and you can actually get work done that way. So if I want to say, go to my website here, and I can just type it out here. Again, it's connected via Bluetooth, and you can then use it like that. So, and again, having the multitasking ability on this has been excellent. Here you can see I have multiple displays open at once. So really, really good stuff so far. Now, this is turning out to be one of my favorite ways to use it. Here I have it in laptop mode. The dual displays are on, and I'm using the keyboard detached. So I got the physical keyboard and the included mouse here that works very well. And I love having this setup here because I have the screen down here. I've got the screen there. Again, I can use the stand, or I can just go like this, or I can use this like this, right? So I can connect it to the laptop itself. It magnetically attaches, and it brings up the virtual touchpad. That works out well, especially in an airplane. You're limited on space on your seat back tray and so forth. So you definitely want to go with something like that. And then, of course, you could use it in the tablet mode and the other ways. But, of course, this is just one of the ways. Now, this also saves some space as well when you are using this stand here, because if you want to go vertically, as I'm showing here, this makes it a little bit easier, less bulky. And again, you can put the keyboard here like that, and you have a nice setup there. And again, I like the fact that they have a place to store the pen right there. So you are pretty good in terms of what you need to do to be productive on the road. All right, let's take a quick look at the port selection. On the left is one Type-C Thunderbolt 4 that is full function, and that's it for the left side. On the right side are two more Thunderbolt 4 ports, full function, a power button, of course, and your kill switch for the webcam. And that is it. So that is not much. You don't get a headphone jack, no USB-A, no HDMI, and no SD card reader. So that is pretty lacking in terms of ports on this unit. Now, one thing I will point out is this does come with McAfee installed. It does give you a lot of pop-ups, and it's quite annoying. So the one thing I will say once you get it, first thing to do is remove any McAfee applications on the unit. A lot of crapware. Not happy to see that here. All right, now to me, the star of the show will be these dual OLED displays. The big improvement is we now have 14-inch displays versus 13.3 inches, so you're getting more screen real estate, 2.8K resolution. That's the same, 2880 by 1800. Oh, the other big improvement here is 120 hertz, where the previous iteration had 60 hertz displays. Now, 120 hertz is definitely give you a more smooth and fluid experience. It will use more power, although it does have a bigger battery, as we'll get into the battery life a little bit later. So that sort of makes up for it, and then some. But of course, having 120 hertz on these dual OLED displays is a big win year over year as far as I'm concerned. Excellent coverage of the color gamut, really great color accuracy. So content creation on this is going to be fantastic. As far as the negatives of OLED, of course, you're going to have to deal with potential screen burn-in down the road. That's where you leave a static image long enough, although they do give you OLED care settings that you can play around with that can help prevent that. And of course, PWM is detected, although not too bad on this. I think that's been improved as well. So if you are sensitive to PWM, it might not be an issue this time around. So again, I've seen improvements on here. These are an improved. This is an improvement when it comes to the dual displays. That's for sure. And they also bake in some excellent software to take advantage of them in the user center in terms of cascading and doing multitasking with different windows to take advantage of having these excellent OLED displays. Now, as far as screen brightness is concerned, 500 nits standard dynamic range and can peak as high as 750 nits HDR. And speaking of HDR, it's been excellent for consuming media. Obviously, watching Netflix, Amazon, YouTube with HDR on, if it's supported on the video, has been a boon here. It's been really, really great. Overall, I would say these are excellent panels, especially the improvements here, the bigger displays, the 120 hertz, and the brightness has been improved. So everything overall has been improved year over year. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. So you're looking at a 5 megapixel IR webcam. So that means you can log in with face recognition with Windows Hello. And for those that need more security and privacy, there is a kill switch on the laptop. So that's on the side that allows you to turn it off for more security and privacy for those that need it. Now, what do you think about the video quality and what do you think about the audio quality? Let me know. Now, this does have the studio effects and it has the auto framing. So no matter where you're going, it'll keep you in frame there. It works pretty good, obviously. And then, of course, there's the eye contact and background effects such as the standard blur. And what we have here is the portrait blur. I think it does a pretty good job. What do you think about it? Let me know in the comment section below. And maybe most importantly, what do you think about the audio? Let me know. Now, we're seeing an improvement year over year when it comes to performance, as this is running the Intel Core Ultra 7 255H. Yes, we've seen it before. It's the Intel Arrow Lake H, and performance is what you'd expect it to be, right? So you're looking at good single and multi-core performance, and I would say good for your everyday tasks, Microsoft Office, email, web browsing. That worked well. Light 4K video editing is possible in DaVinci Resolve Premiere Pro. I was able to run the Puget Bench DaVinci Resolve benchmark. I had good results there. And as far as the graphics here, so we're looking at the Intel Arc 140T, and we've seen the 140V on Lunar Lake. This is a little bit different, but has similar results in the end of the day. You're looking at pretty good in terms of an integrated solution. Time Spy, Firestrike, and Wildlife Extreme show very good, capable scores here. And then, of course, if you play with some of the settings, you can get some playable frame rates on some of the more popular titles. Of course, this will not replace a dedicated gaming laptop or something with a discrete GPU, but you can add an external GPU thanks to the Thunderbolt 4 ports that this has. Now, when it comes to the thermals, this never got overly hot. When I ran the Time Spy stress test, it got a passing score of 99.3%. And as far as the surface temperatures, never getting overly hot. I didn't notice anything that was too out of the ordinary here in terms of heat, in terms of the surface temperatures under heavy load. So they did a good job in terms of the surface temperatures. And when it comes to fan noise, maximum load, you're going to hear about 50, 51 decibels, which is definitely noticeable. But if you're in the balance mode, doing everyday tasks, the fan noise was almost non-existent. So that was pretty good, keeping that at a minimum. So overall, decent job when it comes to the thermals here. Now, we actually have a bigger battery here for 2025, going from 80 watt hours from last year to 88 here. So we get a little bit bigger battery to go along with the bigger display. So that sort of offsets any hit you might take with the bigger or the larger screen real estate you get this time around. Now, these are OLED displays and you can go up to 120 hertz, as I mentioned. So that's going to use more juice. But if you put it into 60 hertz or the dynamic mode, you can definitely eke out a little bit more battery life. But the overall numbers, as I'm showing you here on your screen right now, shows that it is definitely capable in terms of video playback on the PC Mark X. The PC Mark X Modern Office test, which is a mixed-use test, it did pretty well considering the high-res displays that this does have. And, of course, single display only will give you more battery life, and you'll get about 40 to 50% less when you're going dual displays, which is to be expected. So that is something you'll have to be aware of. Now, they do include the pretty compact charger in the box, and that actually does support rapid charge, so that was not an issue as far as fast charging, and it worked out pretty well, pretty travel friendly, which I always like to see, especially from Lenovo. They do a great job in these really compact chargers. So overall, pretty good when it comes to battery and the charging, considering these 14-inch OLED displays. Now, when it comes to the audio, quad speakers, 2 watts each, so we're looking at 8 watts of total output, which is very good. Dolby Atmos to help with the spatial audio. And I got to say, it's very good. Let's give it a listen, and you let me know what you think in the comment section below.
Hello, honey, how you been? Oh, it's been such a long time. I can feel my heart jumping. Are you still mine? No one ever very low, but I come closer down to. I guess it wasn't meant to be, but never mind what's new with you. Oh, you look so good.
Now, as far as user upgradability, there is a possibility of getting inside this laptop. You'll have to remove some screws, and there's some adhesives that you'll have to remove. I haven't tried it, and it's a review unit, so I would have to ask Lenovo. but it's not going to be the easiest when you compare it to others in the category. And I would say it's not going to be for the average user. You may have to have some skill to access the SSD, which again, theoretically is upgradable on this, but I don't see a surefire, easy way to replace those adhesives. So you might have to get some extra parts from Lenovo. So I would be cautious when it comes to, and I would give you a caveat when it comes to upgrading the SSD. So when you buy this, make sure you get the one with enough storage in it for your needs. Again, there's no SD card reader or anything like that. So yeah, theoretically you can upgrade it, but again, not a surefire thing. Now, while this is a good solution in terms of the origami style stand and stuff like that, I kind of wish it was more like the Asus Zenbook Duo that we looked at with the built-in kickstand that allows you to do a lot of the same things, but is easy to travel with, a little bit more tidy package, and you don't have to deal with a lot of the other stuff that this brings in terms of all the parts you need to take with you. It's more of an all-in-one kind of a situation. So I kind of wish they went with that approach. That being said, this is still an improvement year over last year's solution in the origami style stand as well as the overall form factor. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Now, there is a big difference between this and the Zenbook Duo from Asus that we looked at. Yes, that has the built-in kickstand, but that's more of a traditional style laptop in a lot of ways with dual displays. This is a 2-in-1 convertible, and that's the difference there. You can't put it in tablet mode like you can on this one. So that is a key difference. So those wanting a more versatile device, this might be it because it does allow you to put it into the different modes, especially in tablet mode. And again, with the lighter weight, bigger displays, it's a big improvement year over year. Now, this comes with this improved pen. We saw this improved pen that has been redesigned here for 2025. We saw it on the Yoga 9i, its sibling, also the business counterpart, which is the X1 2-in-1. And I really like it. It's charged via USB Type-C. It has buttons there, comes in the same title teal color, and it works great on this laptop. So for taking notes, sketching out artwork, and stuff like that, it is going to work really well. Now, for those wondering, the pen actually sticks magnetically to the lid like you could on the Yoga 9i, the traditional 2-in-1, not with a dual screen. But if you just want to use this as a dual screen laptop in a 360 convertible, you can store the pen, and it's a really solid connection there, so you won't be losing it. When you do want to pack it up and store away, you can put it here in this little loop here on the origami stand here, so that takes care of that. But a lot of versatility on where to store the pen. So overall, what do I think about the Lenovo Yoga Book 9i, the Gen 10 for 2025? And I think it's pretty much an improvement across the board over last year's model. We now have 14-inch displays versus the 13.3-inch, the same 2.8K resolution. So you're getting more screen real estate, sharp, bright, really nice HDR here. I mean, the color, the vibrant colors, the deep blacks, it's all there. The high contrast, it's all there. Of course, with any OLED display, you'll have to deal with screen burn-in and obviously PWM, which might be an issue for some people. Not too bad on this one. They've gotten better, but again, something to be aware of. Now, performance-wise, with the Intel Arrow Lake H, that's an improvement over last year's model in both single and multi-core performance, which is very welcome. So you're going to be perfectly fine for your everyday tasks, Microsoft Office, email, web browsing, light 4K video editing with the included Intel Arc 140T graphics, a great integrated solution so far here in 2025. So that worked out pretty well. Some even gaming on your downtime can be done on this. Again, not as good as something with a discrete GPU, but certainly capable here in 2025. For certain games, you got to play with the settings, but that is very welcome here. Now, as far as battery life, as I mentioned earlier, definitely improvement because it does have a bigger 88 watt-hour battery versus the 80 watt-hour battery. So that worked out pretty well. And as far as the sound, excellent sound coming out of this. 4 2-watt speakers for a total of 8 watts of power. Dolby Atmos for the spatial audio. That worked out well. So this is a great multimedia device, having these gorgeous OLED displays paired with some excellent audio. And of course, there is no headphone jack. So that's going to be a big negative in my book, although a lot of laptops here in 2025 do not have a headphone jack. So that is a big negative. Really nice 5 megapixel IR webcam. That's great for those that want to do video conferencing. That worked out really well. Ports wise, you're limited in a bit here. You got 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports on the right side and 1 on the left, and that's it. No USB-A, no micro SD card reader, no HDMI or anything like that. So just bear that in mind when buying something like this. But again, Thunderbolt are split up here, 2 on the right, 1 on the left, which makes it more convenient. So the negatives obviously are going to be, some price tag is going to be a little high on there, but I do anticipate this going on sale. I'll leave the latest pricing in the link below. And I love this gorgeous teal color, but it does show some fingerprints. You could probably see some fingerprints as I'm using this. Not terrible, but something you might be aware of. The other improvement, by the way, is on the keyboard. I love the fact that they improved it, putting a backlight on it, improving the key travel on it. So that is very welcome. And I love the fact that when your case, the stand folds origami, it's like an origami case, and that now has a magnet, sticks to the lid of the case, making it easier to travel with, a little less kludgy and a little bit more tidy package. So overall, that's great. I also love the fact that it does come in lighter despite having the bigger display. So a lot of improvements well across the board here. And I think Lenovo hit a home run as far as this is concerned. Do I like it better than the Asus Zenbook Duo that we looked at, running the similar chipset, dual displays? I would say they have their pros and cons. I'm going to be doing a head-to-head to both of them regarding those, so stay tuned. That is coming. But as far as this one, I can highly recommend it here for 2025. A great dual-screen OLED displays here, and it makes multitasking a perfect scenario on this laptop. So please hit the like button, please subscribe, please share this video. Now, if you're a casual viewer of my content, why not hit that subscribe button as we make our big push for 250,000 subscribers. We're getting closer and closer, tremendous growth here in 2025. I want to thank all of you from the bottom of my heart. Now, if you're going to buy something like the Lenovo Yoga Book 9i that we have here, check out the links in the description below. Yes, they are affiliate links, and no, not a huge commission, but it does help keep the lights on in the studio, help support the channel, and again, very much appreciated. So until next time, this is Andrew, and I'll see you in the next video.